Special thanks to everyone who comments. I read each one and respond directly to each one. Thank you for the energetic exchange. You are appreciated more than you know. Okay, so let's see what energy we have coming in. The last one, ooh, I love all of the different energies. They are just, it's incredible. Incredible. Oh, okay. Like, you guys, you like to challenge me, that's for sure. We have third-party interference. Third-party interference, comes up a lot in tarot, especially when you see the Three of Cups. You hear that a great deal. Third-party interference could be anything that is coming in between you and another person or you in a situation. It could be, anything. It could be, most commonly, infidelity. Other than that, family members, a job, time, a belief system. It genuinely, it could be anything. We have new perspective. And a positive change. We have epiphany at the bottom of the deck, but I feel like this is not complete. Okay, isolation. And then one more. Spiritual protection. Okay, well that just kind of changed the whole thing. Oh, we have runner. We have runner. So this might be a continuation from the last message. Okay, so we're going to take this. Yeah, this is a continuation from the last message. We have separation. Okay, this is a very different energy from the last one, though. And we have soulmate. Okay. Oh, wow. And divine feminine. Divine feminine. Okay. Huh. That's really interesting. If this is a continuation from the last message. So what we're looking at here is we're actually looking at a soulmate connection here, currently in separation. This person is in isolation. And we do have divine feminine here. If this is a continuation from the previous message, you might resonate with the twin flame journey. Twin flame has not come out here, so this could very well be just a soulmate that you are currently separated from. Could also be a karmic partner. Okay, we are going to clarify. We're going to add on to that actually with the runner, that push-pull energy, that chaser dynamic, that further divides this into karmic partner or twin flame journey. Okay. All right. See, and that's what I get for making any comments about the reading that comes right before these readings. All right. Let's see. Let's start here. I think, yeah, this is a much faster paced. This is a faster energy, significantly, than the last one. Okay. All right. We have yin here. So this is going to be that divine feminine energy. And then we have incomplete, impulse, and inaction. Impulse, incomplete, inaction. Oh, it's really interesting. Those are three eyes. Okay, what else? All right. Okay, so the cards that came out are actually tarot, medium, and imagine, but the message here is TMI. TMI. Okay, so we have third eye and TMI. Yeah, this is a different energy. Interesting than the last one. Okay, okay. Transparency at the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. Let's go to. All right. So, Goddess, what is this story? Ah, that was on the split. That I acknowledge synchronicities and I am filled with so much gratitude. Like this stuff is incredible. This is just incredible. Align, align, get in contact with your higher self, your higher power, source energy. Align. Like this is incredible. You are a divine being having an earthly experience that creates your own reality. I'm telling you. I am telling you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, we have imprisonment here. Trapped, isolated. We already had isolation come out. Restricted, stuck, unwanted obligation, holding back, self-imposed limitations, and forbidden. All right, so this is a current energy, and I'm not really clear this moment if this is who I'm reading for, a person that is feeling trapped or imprisoned in isolation during the separation. And what is sticking out to me is this self-imposed, I was going to say implode. Okay. Self-imposed limitations, holding back, unwanted obligation. Unwanted obligation really stands out here. Self-imposed limitations always, because it's kind of like a running theme, having the human experience, you're here to have those limitations, have those experiences with contrast, and then be able to work through them and remember who you actually are. This, though, that unwanted obligation is what is standing out to me greatly. All right, what else with the imprisonment? Or what else about this story? What else do we need to know about this? Adjudication. Okay, with imprisonment and adjudication coming out together, there is a possibility that this person, one of you, or you're being impacted by actual physical jail. Okay, that's only for some. Like, okay. All right. With adjudication, there's also that feeling of contract. We have advisor, consultant, negotiation, discussion, final decision, conflict, discernment, moral ambivalence, adjudication, self-imposed limitations, unwanted obligations. Okay, and then we have thoughts, reflecting, thinking it through, forward planning, ideas, memories, thinking of someone or a situation. Okay. All right, I think we're going to go to the tarot. We do have thief at the bottom of the deck. Thief, playmate, routine, past life. Do we need any of those? No. No. Um, okay, tarot. Tower. First card out. Tower. Okay, sudden change. Towers are not, Tower is my favorite card, actually. You see it in the back. The tower is not it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be, really. But I guess that's just a matter of opinion. So a tower simply means that you have built a construct along your journey that has to come down in order for forward movement on your journey to continue. Usually this destruction of the tower is done by divine intervention, indicated by the big lightning bolt that's on the top, which you can't, it's not really clear in this. Oh, there are angels falling from the tower. No, there's only one. There's only one angel falling from the tower here. Huh. Interesting. Okay. What else? What about this tower? What about this tower? All right, we have Four of Swords. There's speaking towards your isolation again. Okay, so like this Four of Swords energy, very different, right, from the standard Rider-Waite-Smith. This particular one is actually hugging the Sword of Truth, right? So the three that are stabbed into the snow might be important. No, now is important. It's not snow, it's now. The three swords at the bottom there shoved into the snow are the ones that are pulled out of the heart, right? But this particular, how this is depicted here, this is depicted as it feels like desperate for the truth. Desperate for the truth. But it's a period of resting, healing, respite, recovery. All right, we have the King of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And we have the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups and the King of Cups. All right. That much. It's a much faster moving energy. Tell me about the Tower. The Page of Wands. I'll show you this in a minute. You can't see it on the screen. And the Ace of Coins. It almost feels like fire. It's interesting. All right. Then we have Death. I have never seen this Death card. Take a look at this. What are they, like tooth fairies? What is happening here? What is going on? What are they doing? And the Queen of Coins. Why is the King of Coins here? The Knight of Cups in reverse. And the Queen of Swords. I feel like you had to find your own stability here. The Seven of Coins. And the King of Coins here. Okay. And then the Hierophant. Can you tell me about the Hierophant, please? And we have the Hangman to the Nine of Wands. All right. The Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck with the Knight of Coins. And the Three of Coins. Okay. So I already said something about the previous message. Okay. So if you resonated with that message, it was very slow moving energy. Okay. I don't want to say that definition yet here because it didn't come out. So right now, as far as I know, we're looking at a karmic partner connection in this moment. Um, so if you resonated with that one, I'm going to just like delete that one from the energy here. I do believe that it's connected, but I can't work both at the same time. Plus, I usually purge most of that information right after. So, like, I'm going to focus just on this one. That's just for the people who watched the last one and resonated with it. Now, if that is the case, because there is something linking these two, watch this one as well, but watch it as if it is brand new to you. Okay? Because there's a message in here for you as well. All right. So, for the rest of you that did not watch the previous one, if you resonate with this one, make sure you watch the previous one because they're connected somehow. I just don't know how yet. Okay, so this message is for an individual who is female, right, with this yin, or predominantly that type, right, of energy. Divine feminine, I usually stick with the genders that are on the table as the cards, unless the energy overrides whatever it is. So I'm just going to assume that this is a divine feminine. However you describe that, that's up to you. All right. So this is a divine feminine energy that is currently in a soulmate runner dynamic, which indicates to me that this is a karmic partner. There is one other thing that it could possibly be, but I don't see it on the table, so we're not going to talk about it just yet. You are currently in a period of separation and isolation. That's a little shaky to me because I can't tell whether the runner is you or the chaser is you, and I can't tell whether the runner is in isolation. Okay, with that being said, the good thing about this is that this energy, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. The good thing about this is that there is a new perspective, spiritual protection, and a positive change here. This indicates that in the period of separation and isolation, there is integration that is occurring during this time period. Now, there was a third party interference that set this into motion. That is not being brought out currently. It's not being highlighted in the narrative currently, but this opening energy started with a tower moment. So I'm going to assume that that third party interference was something that was so drastic that it actually caused a crumbling of a structure. Okay. So with that being said, there were two messages that came out, something about the third eye, right? The third eye chakra, and a strong message about like this is too much information, or too much information. TMI, too much information. I would love it if this was the polar view of it. I think that that's really neat. Okay. All right. Actually, no, you know what? I lied to your face. Three of Cups is at the bottom of the deck, followed by the Knight of Coins, the Three of Coins, the Six of Coins. This is okay. So your third party interference is another person, but I can't tell you the capacity. As far as the relationship, I can't tell you the capacity. Confirmation from the universe there. So in this energy, right, we have one person that is very much isolated, unwanted obligations. I feel like this person feels like they're stuck, like doing this. They might also be stuck by marriage with judication here. But with card 16, thoughts coming through, forward planning, ideas, memories, thinking, reflecting. Okay. I feel like somebody is actually taking this period of separation to really, really think about it. if this is somebody who is 2020 on the timer, if this is somebody who is currently like has some sort of like court order injunction against them, the only reason that they're not coming forward is because of that court order. I don't know, or some fear about going to jail or getting in trouble, right? Something like that. Okay, so we have the Tower. Okay, with the Page of Wands and the Ace of Coins here, I feel like this Tower moment was, what is that? There's a character in the corner. See him up on the mountain? What is that? Is that the Hermit? There's all these bunnies. Okay, I think that this was an opportunity. You have somebody who's really immature here, right? Really immature, and they're following immature energy, immature impulses. That's impulse. Okay, incomplete action. Oh, okay. So we're talking about potency here. This person thought that it would be their opportunity to, no, this was caused because of somebody's juvenile, impulsive, oh, they didn't think. They didn't think about it in advance. Oh, they just ran right. They like took a small spark of something and just ran with it. Okay, it's interesting. Causing that tower moment. And then with this Four of Swords, like this is isolation. This is soulmate, separation, isolation, runner. This person is sad. And we have both that. Okay, so we are going back. This is, oh, I see why the energy is so quick. Okay. Okay, so what I think is happening here with this is two streams of energy that is going like this, or this is just you co-creating with me, and you're showing me both sides as you see it. Take it how it resonates. All right. So the person that caused, because we don't cause anything, caused this tower moment was the one that kind of ran off, the runner, this runner here. Okay. This runner ran off because of impulse. They just took off. It wasn't even, they didn't even think about the consequences. It was completely impulsive. It was impulsive by like a tiny little spark. It wasn't even like full-fledged. There was very little thought behind this. Oh, thoughtless. There's your thoughts. Oh, I feel you. Okay. Yeah, that kind of hit hard. Okay. All right. So I think that is I believe that this is the masculine. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be the masculine energy here. Okay. And then, which leaves here, this would be the divine feminine in this karmic relationship. Um, very sad. And with death and the Queen of Coins here, and the only reason I say this is because the divine counterpart of this is actually on the table again. So I think that this is kind of like a shift in roles, right? There was a loss here of a role, of a definition of the way that you defined yourself in this partnership. Yeah, defined yourself in this partnership. It was kind of like having to mourn or having to grieve the loss of that particular role. right here. I think that this relationship provided you a great deal of 3D security. Yep. So you were very secure here in this partnership. This was this was a pretty hefty higher level commitment. Here could have been marriage. Definitely lived together at some point. Oh, I bet you it was on and off. Cohabitated in some, regular fashion. Um, yeah, that's the loss. But death also indicates death and rebirth. So that's Phoenix transformation energy. Then we jump back to what it would be like the King of Coins. This is the divine masculine in the pairing. And we have the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Swords. I want um, okay. So if we were to approach this as discussing this energy, and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse and the Queen of Swords, this energy is stating, like energetically, stating that there are no actions of offers from the heart space with the Knight of Cups in reverse, that there are no actions in that, there are no actions like that being made at this time. Okay, well, who are those actions towards? It's like, what do we care? Like, what does that have to do with anything? It could also be the request for truth, but I don't believe that that's it. Okay, you have Seven of Cups, Five of Wands, the Moon, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, wow. Okay, okay, I'm just going to tell you what I hear. All right. So my question was, who is not being anybody, nobody. I'm not going to tell you, and the options are endless. Everybody, anybody. The lucky, like the lucky, nobody. I'm not going to tell you. Are these two together? Oh, I'm not going to tell you who. Oh, yeah. So with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups together, it's like it's childlike defiance and a bunch of options. That's the energy. But this one was very clear. Everybody and anybody, everybody and anybody. And then I got the lucky. Everybody and anybody the lucky. Nobody. Nobody. And then I'm not going to tell you who. So somebody, but not you. If there is anybody. I don't, it's just, I mean, just between you and I, it's just bullshit. It's just a bullshit answer. With the Queen of Swords, like it kind of makes me feel like Yeah, she just has her back turned anyway. Yeah, I just think it's just uh, smoke and mirrors. It's just an energy of smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Okay, and then we shift back to the divine feminine energy in the Nine of Pentacles. So I have a feeling that this was like a Ten of Pentacles situation. And then with the dissolution or separation of you two as a divine pairing, King and Queen of Pentacles, right? You stepped very graciously into this Nine of Pentacles energy. All right. And it did take you a while with the Seven of Pentacles and the King of Coins. That's kind of interesting that it's represented that way. It's almost like it took you a while to bring in, integrate, like that idea, because this right here, this is a perceived loss of a role, right? But you actually had that role the entire time. That does not change. Like this descriptor doesn't change with the Queen of Coins. Um, Basically, what you said, it was like, well, it took me a little while with the Seven of Coins. Like I had to get my crap together that was just blown up, right? And after I was able to get all my crap together that was blown up, I had to replace what was lost. Okay. I don't, was that, is that, oh, we did have transparency at the bottom of the deck before we go making assumptions. Okay. Who, is this King of Pentacles new? Like, is this their, this, no, no. This must be an aspect of self. No, yeah, this is an aspect of self. With the Eight of Coins to the Four of Coins. Okay, so you basically had to find well, you had to integrate your masculine, um, I don't know, wage earner or provider or security. Oh, you found your security in yourself. Wait, didn't I already say that out loud? Yeah, you found your stability, security, the thing that, the thing that he represented to you, um, the thing that he gave you, that he represented to you, like in a standard of, oh, oh, man, I think okay, don't get hung up on what I say. I'm just me. The thing that he provided for you, right, in the relationship, as in a regular relationship, the thing that you found more comfortable assigning him as a role, you know, like provider, protector, security, stability, something like that, right? Whereas you were more nurturing, giving, like, you know, you were the one that maintained everything and he was the one that like provided for or created a stable type of environment, like a traditional king queen combination would. Okay, so that you basically had to find within yourself, right? Also, I think that there was some financial implications when this tower went down, right? And you had to really diligently work and save with this Eight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, work and save. So you integrated that aspect of self, more of the divine masculine aspect. It took you a hot minute with Seven of Pentacles, but you're showing me 4, 7, 8, 9, and with the king being the reason. Reason, not this king, but you embodying that king. Okay. And then I think that we actually go back to your divine masculine, or like as if the divine masculine energy is coming through with the Hierophant because he is the divine pairing to the high priestess, right? So we're back to this energy of there's a lot of things with the Hierophant. This is a spiritual energy, but it's also about conformity. It's also about rules and regulations. It's about standards, traditions. It's also about higher education. It's about spiritual education. It could be a lot of things, but we have the Hangman and the Nine of Wands. We did have new perspective and positive change here. So, I mean, we could, okay, is that what this is? Is that what this is? Okay. All right. So that in itself is a message. So usually I just pull the deck to clarify, depending on what the card is. It gives me really clear. The clarifier for my question was, is the answer is the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So again, I think that this is just smoke and mirrors. So the Hierophant here and clarified by the Hanged Man and the Nine of Wands. This kind of says to me, like, your dude found Jesus. Like, because of how difficult the struggle was, right? And how much he defended his whatever, his energy, his territory, his home, his relationship, his whatever that was. Like seeing that from a new perspective and how much work and how much wounding like he sustained, right? He has finally like now listening to his higher self. This contributed to spiritual expansion. But then when I wanted to make sure prior to saying that, I got the Five of Pentacles, which is about like injury, being left out in the cold, financial ruin, abandonment. Third eye, too much information. Okay, what is the change? I want to know what the change is in the divine masculine. I think we should just ask straight out. What is the change? What is the change? Is there a change? All right, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Yeah. So this is only the second time I've used this deck, and there's this like golden ticket thing in the middle, which when it fell out, meaningless was what I got, but I also got golden ticket, which if you've ever heard of Willy Wonka. What about the Ace of Wands, where the divine masculines change? Okay, and then we have strength in the reverse. What else? One more, please. Okay, so like Ace of Wands to me is like usually like spiritual inspiration, passion, unless surrounded by cards that are in shadow, which the strength in reverse is very much, but I want one more. Ace of Wands to the strength in reverse, please. What is the change? Because one party here, which I believe is the divine feminine, the yin energy here, is being spiritually protected. That's why I think this came out. And then we have third eye here. So this is going to be a sight that you don't typically have. And it's being kind of counteracted or hijacked. It is a hijacked energy. Okay. Well, that's cool. I do appreciate that. Because you guys are on the same. This is the twin flame. This is without a doubt. Oh no, you know what? It could be karmic. Like those things are pretty tough. One more, please. Ace of Wands. Strength. The masculines change. I want one more. Thank you. The Queen of Cups. Yeah. The Knight of Swords at the bottom. To the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles for healing. the ultimate truth, so you don't have to wait anymore. Okay, so the change, like I don't really know if this really is a change. I mean, it looks like the only change here is the person that he's with, right? I know it sucks. I'm sorry. Um, it's just the person that he's with has changed. It went from a Queen of Coins to a Queen of Cups. Mm, yeah. With the Strength in the reverse, he's like basically you are unable to tame the beast within, like you are weak, right? Like you can't do what's right. You can't you just and he left right with that impulse, like an opportunity to follow just impulse. It was childish, it was incomplete. It was just he just left, like just it whatever this tower was, right? It's kind of like childlike running, right? And now you're sitting here over in separation, isolation, but you are being spiritually protected at this time. And I think that's why this message came through like this directly after the previous one. Um, because your spirit team, they don't want you sitting there doing this. Like they're asking for you to find the positive new perspective, like find this, find find the positive in this. And that's why transparency is transparency. Cut effort, limiting beliefs. There's judge control. Judge, control, change, the intensity of the change. Boundary. This is exactly related to the last one. Oh, I wonder if that's why your energy came through so masculine in the beginning. Okay, so the reason, transparency, right? Transparency, your Knight of Swords. This is incoming action. This is the energy of truth. To the Queen of Pentacles, that is to you. For Temperance, to heal, so that you have the ultimate truth. And remember, you were sitting there in sadness, clutching the truth. Like, do you wanting to know the truth about the heartbreak, right? And then, so that you could, there's the Four Petals, so that you could get out of that energy, right? That's what that is about. And they're bringing this to you like this so that you can stop focusing, like you could stop energetically hemorrhaging, right? This is in an effort to be transparent on the reason that you are going through this so that you can cut the effort that you are devoting to it and focus on the limiting beliefs. Remember, we were talking about that moon space, right? That isolation space where you weren't actually cleaning out the cobwebs. That's why Judge is here as well. You're still sitting in that state of imprisonment and you're being held in captive, with your thoughts about deciding whether or not do I want to remain in this period of heartbreak or do I want to cut this thing off. It is so that you can become the judge, take over the control, right? And the intensity, change, control, intensity, or control the intensity of change as it relates to boundaries. And look at that. With that yang energy. Boundaries, yang energy, remove and release. So if you had left the previous message, kind of disappointed because I didn't give you any 44 on the timer, didn't give you like an exact thing to do, that's because it's not up. It's like, it's totally up to you. TMI. I wonder what the TMI was about. I think that, that might have been just, it's kind of tough with, twin flame journeys like this. Like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a stamp, a twin flame. And it very much, okay, so your message here, the period of isolation for you is self-worth. I don't remember in your reading if I talked to you about the part of this journey that no one talks about, right? Which is the personal empowerment of the divine feminine at the end of the journey. So like you actually have to, at the end of the journey, the last phase of separation, it is typically because you have not, and listen to your intuition. That was a theme with the first one. Like you need to listen. But your intuition is telling you like what is going on here, what is happening here. The fact that this person is codependent and reaches out to other feminines when they're in separation, you're really struggling with that idea of, well, if it's a twin, you're struggling with like the idea of, being faithful or whatnot during separation and how that relates to the journey because you represented yourself as in a alone, right? I assume that's because you're the one that's like, wait a minute, we're going to end up back together. What is this? You might have even been married. You might be married now. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. If that was confusing to you, watch the other one. You should watch the other one anyway. All right. Come on. You know what I want. You know what I want. But your self-worth here, like, I don't believe that you would be accepting this from any other type of relationship and whatever label that you put on it. Yeah, ghosted, busy, and distracted. Come on, the one I want. I'm going to give you one more card. Unexpected message in the reverse. Yeah, let's see what it's between then. I'm looking for the card that is titled Twin Flame. See where it is. Okay, so it falls between apology and generous offer. So, okay, I'm going to leave that there because that's exactly what this is. That's what this energy is. I really expected this one to be way shorter. So, okay. You are unconditionally loved and supported by the universe. My unconditional love to you as well. This is one of the more challenging journeys that there are in this Earth school. Mainly because like we're just kind of misinformed, I think, about it. Okay. But I'm glad that you're able to see the positive change, the new perspective, the spiritual protection. Find your self-worth, listen to your intuition, listen to your spirit guides are talking to you. And just because it is that type of journey does not mean it has a definitive outcome. You have free will. You are also the creator of your own reality. So if you want it to show up differently, change your belief systems, change your definitions, change your belief systems, and make it manifest. All right. So thank you so much for the participation in the energetic exchange. I do appreciate it so much. And take care.